Courtney, congratulations are in order.
For
You haven't heard?
No, tell me.
Look, I can't believe you haven't heard that Soulja Boy is expecting his first child.
Ew.
Dang. What's up, guys? It's your girl Kera Dangerous, reminding you to not be petty and hit that subscribe and like button. Dang.
There's just certain people in my life who, number one, I can't picture having sex. Number two, I can't picture with the baby. And Soulja Boy is one of those people who, in my mind, will be young forever. He's so young-minded. So for me, I'm just like, no, I can't picture him conceiving anything but, dumb thoughts and comments to post on Instagram all day,
But think about this, Courtney. Soulja Boy, he is so crazy. He's normally out there just talking reckless, but he kept this a good secret.
Yeah.
Okay. He kept this a good secret. You haven't heard anything about his baby mama. You haven't heard anything. So I can say I'm sort of proud of him for that.
And I think, in a lot of ways, he, as much as we talk about him being funny and a clown, he is, I guess, outside of camera, outside of, lights, camera, action. He's a mature dude who has, he wants to start a family. He wants to be able to settle down with someone and build that legacy, right? We all know that music lives on forever, but we don't. So who carries that torch for you when you're gone, So I think he probably thought about a lot of that as he's getting older. And, he put that into perspective. I think about his verses, and he only had like 5 songs, literally 5-6 songs that he could really do. He sang one song at least 4 or 5 times and different features. So for him, probably like, well, damn, it's time for me to do something else because this is not working,
Let me tell you something, Courtney. He's 31 years old now. Not such a boy anymore, right? That's
Right.
not really being a boy. You're a man.
Mm-hmm.
And just to give you a little insight about his baby mama, TMZ has found out they were able to get a little information for us. Her name is Jackie, and she's a successful celebrity hairstylist, worked with some big names in the business. So, they had a gender reveal party recently. Soulja Boy just posted to his Instagram page Saturday to let us know he was expecting a child. And they're having a boy.
Saturday. Oh, nice.
Soulja Boy's having a boy.
Wow. And we all know how guys feel about their boys. So I can only imagine. That's a great thing. That's a good thing, especially for a man, to have a male legacy to kind of, all right, okay, I'm proud of him. I'm proud
of him. But now that we're talking about it, Courtney, I feel like he's the kind of guy I want to almost say, I wish he had a girl. You know what I'm saying? So that little girl can hit the little tender spot in his heart. And because he's been a guy that's been a player and whatnot. I mean, think about his relationship with Nia Riley, Teddy Riley's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
They've been dating on and off since 2006. They were on Love and Hip Hop together.
Yeah, I think people say that a girl will change you, but if you're a player, you're a player. Like, I gotta say, I have somebody in my family. My uncle had 8 kids. He had a girl. It didn't stop the motion in the ocean. Not one bit. Like, he was out here dipping and doing. So I don't really think it changes behavior. I think you yourself have to want something in you has to want to make that change in order for it to do anything. You know what I mean? So I think having a boy for him would be good because you once again, you want to leave something, a spark or something that you can say, I've worked all of this time. Let's be very, really clear. He's put in a lot of work. Let's not negate the fact that he's been doing this for a very, very long time. And you want to be able to pass that down to somebody, not just a girlfriend, right? You want to have an heir, and now he has one, you know?
Courtney, when I'm thinking about Nia Riley and how their relationship was, I'm saying to myself, I wonder if she's sitting back looking at him and like, wow, okay. So you got the baby with her because Nia lost a baby. They lost a baby
Yeah.
together. And sometimes you sit back as a woman, you're like, wow, you want to act right with her, but you couldn't
Yeah.
act right with me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. And see, and that kind of catapults a whole different conversation, right? Like, what was wrong with me? Like, why couldn't we do it? You know what I'm saying? And I say, just to be like, an everyday average person, why would you want to have bringing a baby into this world with someone who you're not meant to be with only causes more chaos, right? Like, where do you
Yes.
where do you go from there? Now you have this baby that you so called wanted with this man. He still doesn't want you. He still goes and have a baby with this other person, and now you're still miserable. So, like, take the lesson or whatever it is you need to take out of that. Get to your healing and go. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Break it down, Courtney.
one thing I wanted to talk about was Selena. So I am an avid fan. For those of you who don't know, I've talked about this on my show. I thought that at one point Jennifer Lopez was Selena in real life. And it wasn't until I was watching Anaconda one day and I was like, hey, shot? Like, what was he in another movie? And then I realized, oh, this is not real. Like, this is a movie. But I love Selena's story. I love that they had this show on Netflix, and now they are in works of having another album made. Her team is getting another album made. My thoughts on this, I want to save them for a minute. I just want to get what your thoughts are because I have mixed emotions about it. A part of me is saying no, but another part of me is saying yes. What are your thoughts?
I love Selena, and I'm glad to know that you love her too. And one thing about it is, I always wonder what would have been.
Mm-hmm.
We have the pop singer Selena from the Disney Channel, former
Yeah.
Disney star, and you can kind of look at Jennifer Lopez's career and say maybe it would have been sort of like that.
Mm-hmm.
But Selena she was just one of a kind,
Yeah.
style, originality, and you can't just make that out of anybody. And so with this new album, normally I probably would say no, but I was like, okay, cool, because it'll answer a little bit of that what if question.
Yeah.
And I like to see what kind of songs they're gonna have, modern, how they're gonna modernize her style and whatnot. So
Mm-hmm.
it should be interesting.
And that's my yes, right? That's my yes because I want to know what other music she was working on, what other things she was in the works of prior to her demise. What was she working on? What is music that we don't know, right? I want to hear it. But then another part of me is like, well, somebody's broke, right?
Right.
Somebody's broke, and I hate the fact that people, especially camps or teams or whoever they are, utilize the dead so that they can make a living, right? Like
Mhm.
she's been dead. She's been dead since what 95, if I'm
A
correct.
long time.
Like
Long time.
now you want to bring out an album. We could have had that Beady Bum Bum album after she died. Like why now? Why wait? Why wait and store all of that and you know she had it and now you bring it out because you're living off of Fritos and water. Like what is going on? And that's my no. My no is we need to stop exploiting our people who have died for their own people, shall I say, for their own selfish gain, because that's what it is, right? It's not. There's no other reason. Not because we love her this much, because you didn't put it out in all these years. So it ain't the love. It's definitely the money. So
Courtney, normally I'm right down there with you, right? But I'm getting the album soon as it drops.
I'm gonna get it too. Like I'm getting it. I just feel bad that people do that. Like I think about MJ and like Whitney and all of those
Whitney,
people, like
definitely.
the albums that come out after. Like I know they were in the works of wanting to make a Prince album, right? Okay, we know Prince has a plethora of music that he never released. I know that. So we can get albums for days. But then again, there's like, what about his piece, right? Did he ask you to do this? Did he say he wanted this to be released? So I think about that with Selena. Like she didn't release it. Did she release it not because she passed and she wasn't able to? Or did she say, you know what, I'm not really feeling this, so I'm gonna send it to the side? Like I don't really know how all of that works, but in my heart, I'm like, damn, I'm gonna get it. But yeah, that's how I feel.
Now, I tell people all the time I have good intuition. And I'm thinking to myself, Selena would want this album.
I think it's you being Selena in your head and saying, yes, Selena would want this album. But, cool.
No, check this out, Courtney. Now, if you came to me and you said Prince, then I would say probably not, because he was a little bit more strict on
Right.
what's going on. So Selena would do it. She would want us to hear her.
Oh, okay.
The way her life was cut short unexpectedly for her, I think.
I agree. I agree because she did, thinking about it, she did have a lot going on. She was pregnant, she was married, you know what I mean? She was literally just getting off of a tour in between the tour. So I can understand that.
My goodness, I forgot she was pregnant when she died.
Yes, she was 3 months pregnant.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
horrible. Oh my God. Well, Selena, rest in peace, baby. Still got a lot of fans out here. It's some hardcore Selena fans out here, baby.
No, for real. And I'm telling you, if you would have told me when I was younger and I first saw this movie, you probably would have smacked me because not only was I in tears, but I really thought it was Jennifer Lopez. I don't know
Now,
why.
you say what you want about Jennifer Lopez. I'm a Jennifer Lopez fan, but when it came to Selena, she put her drawers in that role. Okay, she put her drawers in that role, or stuck a foot in it, whatever you
Oh
did,
my God. I
whatever.
agree. I agree. Speaking about people sticking their foot in things, let's talk about the cancellation of the Wendy Williams show. So, for those of you who know, Wendy Williams has been pioneering Fox and being the queen of Hot Topics and daytime for the last 14 years. And just recently, her team over at Fox canceled her show due to her lack of attendance and presence and communication on said show. They did, however, state that if she was in any good health or any good condition, she would come back to the show. But obviously, they couldn't keep getting fill-ins to do the show. And immediately after, Sherrie Sheppard announced that she has her show coming out in the fall. So what are your thoughts on Wendy's show being canceled? Were you a Wendy watcher? Were you a Wendy fan? And do you think that, number one, she's going to make a comeback, and number two, that Sherrie Sheppard can do what Wendy did?
Okay, well, first off, let's start at Sherrie Sheppard, because we're not gonna act like we didn't both have Sherrie Sheppard on both our shows.
I'm not saying I don't love her. I'm just saying,
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying.
you, you gonna have me put my foot in the water and you not jumping in with me. You gonna say something?
Well, let me tell you, Sherry's been catching a little bit of heat from people, and I wonder if that's taking away a little bit of the joy of getting your own show. Because I know that's probably something she's wanted for a long time.
Yeah.
Wendy fans are strange to me. I like Wendy. Sometimes she said stuff that annoyed me, but I'm not one of those people who hold it against her to the point where I just hate her or anything like that. I understand her job. Happy for Sherry. She's taking some heat. She's taking some heat, Courtney. So
No.
but I think she did a great job. And previously, the last time when he got sick and she and Sherrie co-host, but way before this long stretch of time, I thought she did a fantastic job there too with the
Yeah.
crowd. So it was no surprise to me that she did well again.
Yeah, I think, and I believe if I'm correct, she had the highest rated time while she was there covering her the first time, like the highest rated out of all the other celebrities who were filling in. I agree with you. I do think, and even like you said, having her on both our shows, she mentioned this about her dream, and this was what is it? This is 2020. This is her dream from years ago to have her own show. So I love to see that this has been manifested. And for me, she did the work. She showed up. She was there. She was present, and she was unique. She wasn't trying to be anybody else but herself, and still giving her flowers to Wendy. Even when she announced the show, she talked about how no one else can fill the purple chair. You mentioned people being upset, but like you said, people are weird because there were so many people who were like, "Oh my God, Sherrie, you need your own show. We need to get you on your own show." And now you've spoken into existence, but now you're mad because Wendy didn't show back up for hers. It got nothing to do with Sherrie. You know what I mean? I know.
It's something to say. You don't know how your blessing's gonna come.
Mm-hmm.
What I do find, a little funny is the fact that I think I'm right in saying that a couple of the numbers were bigger, a higher ratings than actually what Wendy had gotten. So
Mm,
thinking if you're Wendy, that's gotta kind of hit you. And
yeah.
then just recently, she just did an interview and that the company it was people there really kind of moving the wheel, and she wasn't expecting this to happen to her show. So,
Mm-hmm.
I think Wendy could be successful in whatever she does, but
Yeah.
the truth or the fact, I should say, still remains. We don't really know how she's doing health wise. I mean, she's been pictured with people here and there. She did the one stroll on the beach video we saw,
Mm-hmm.
but
And
her last
recently,
interview she did,
on what you call it on Friday, she
yes.
spoke with TJ Holmes.
Oh, on
Via
the phone. She said
Yes,
she
on the
didn't want to
phone.
show her face.
Yeah.
I was reading people comments, and a lot of people were saying she sounded like someone who was trying to make themselves sound like they were okay, but they wasn't. I'm not gonna act like I know if she's good or not.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope that she is good. But to answer your question, I think she could be successful at any time, but that really depends on her health, and I'm not clear whether she is healthy or not.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely congratulating Sherrie. She deserves it. It's been a long time coming. But we do got some sad news. So after not even full 6 months,
Mhm.
Nick Cannon's show was canceled.
Mhm.
I love Nick Cannon. I wasn't a watcher. I just kind of felt like his show didn't have a set target audience. You ever met somebody who we want everybody to watch the show? No, we don't want to watch the show. We need to have a set audience, and that set audience and that target audience is who you focus on. I felt like there was a mix of everybody trying. He was trying to like just do it for all of us, and it's like no. I love my grandma, but we're not watching the same TV. Like I'm not watching. So like I think it was a lot going on, and he claimed that he was busy, like business wise, he had a lot going on, and he really couldn't focus on just doing the show. What are
Mm.
your thoughts on that?
I don't think that's why the show didn't succeed. I've seen the show a couple of times. I don't even know if I think I seen one full episode.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't my cup of tea. I
Yeah.
like Nick in different arenas.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really enjoy him that much in that one.
Yeah.
Nice outfits,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
I like him, but my relationship with Nick was a little iffy. Because that whole woke stage he was doing, but then he
Mm-hmm.
had to backtrack his statements. I mean, I
Yeah.
understand the heat he was getting, so that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. But just more recently, just all the babies that he's fathered,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like I just don't care to hear what he has to say. It's like, and I hate to take what somebody's doing personally, but he put it out there in the media, and it's become this joke
Yeah.
for him and Kevin Hart, and I just don't want to watch a guy with 10 kids by 10 different women on a show.
I
I don't know, Courtney. He lost his appeal to me in a way because I thought of him as a smart guy, and now all I see is him making just dumb choices.
And it's crazy, you know. Somebody used to say, maybe it was Wendy. Somebody used to always say, "Those are rich people problems, right? Because you have the money and you can do that, then you do it." You know. And I agree. I do believe he was very negligent to the women in this scenario. You know what I mean? You know, I think for me, I was okay. Like people have babies all the time, so I was kind of okay. It wasn't until the one that passed, and then immediately after you were pregnant, somebody else was pregnant with a child, and in my mind, I'm just like, wait, you just lost a baby. Like what happened to the healing? What happened to just being there with the mother of your deceased child? How do you just jump from bed to bed to bed like that? Like, number one, that's not healthy. You already have health issues, and you're just kind of like this, whatever. Like, I'm going to just plan and see wherever you are. And for me, that's just we already get flack for being black. We already get flack for being black men and black women, and we're talking about progress, and we're talking about all of these things that you want people to deem us as, and yet you do this because you have money and you want to be respected. So that's why I didn't I didn't connect with him because I didn't feel it, right? I just felt like you wanted a show, you got money to get a show. They gave you an opportunity because at one point you were also covering the Wendy Show, so they gave you an opportunity. But I think your best, for me, he was best off being a filler, right? Like
I know what you're saying.
Once a week or whatever the case may be, but to have your own show, I just don't think that he was strong enough to capture an audience. For me, he reminds me of the cousin we really don't care about, the loser cousin on the side, but he does so many things, but he's still a loser, you know? Yeah.
I think what Courtney is trying to say is that some people are best being the substitute teacher and not the regular seasoned teacher. Okay?
Yeah.
Some people just need to come in every now and then.
Yes. You want to spruce that up like that? Yeah, that was great. That was cute.
Thank you. And I have to agree with you. It's you broke it down well. It's not just the children. It's the fact that let's be honest. He had, he dated women and whatever. We didn't care about that. He still had a good guy image. He just took a couple of hits the last couple of years with just not standing on his word, and then also with just making all these babies and then saying, he wanted to leave his legacy and he's sick. Okay, well, that don't mean you just keep making babies. And I think you hit on something. It seems like he's not just making babies because he wants to leave something for his legacy. It seems like he's making babies out of some other deep-seated issue that he needs to address. And I think it's not that I dislike Nick, because I like him. I love Drumline. I like his show, Wild and Out. It's just that I think I expected more from him.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I expected more from him because he done well for so long.
Yeah. And I think, and that's why I don't allow any celebrity to be put in a place where they could disappoint me. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, you are a celebrity. Like, so there's something you signed, maybe your life or maybe something, but you signed something and you were playing it safe by signing said thing. So whatever it is, I now it doesn't surprise me. So the 100 million kids he got doesn't surprise me. Him taking back his word and then trying to gaslight us into believing that he really cared, when in reality your checks were looking different. Them zeros were decreasing.
But look, I got a better one. Well, you probably don't know this because you didn't watch the show, but he actually had a couple of weeks where he was doing he would say he was gonna be celibate for, I forgot the length of time, but that was the big thing, and then he just threw that in the trash, and then we got 2 more babies coming.
Yeah. This is a joke.
It's a joke. That may not bother you about all the children, but I do have a topic that does bother you a lot, and that's daylight savings time. Courtney, I think that you hate daylight saving time. I saw you post about it on your Instagram page.
Oh, so I just think that once my body gets into a mode, leave it.
Mm-hmm.
Why mess with my precious time? Let me tell you something. One thing I'm finna do is sleep.
I like that. I like that you said finna and you're from New York. That's very southern of you. Who have you been hanging around?
I have a lot of country friends, and I can't help it. I find myself saying these things, and I'm like, dang, I'm from the hood of Brooklyn. Where am I learning these words? But I have a lot of people who live in the South. So finna was one of those words that I kind of took from them, and I'm like, I love that word. I don't know what it means, but it sounds like it got some sauce on it, and I love it. But yeah, one thing I'm finna do is sleep. I love my sleep, especially when I have nothing to do. I'm gonna get me about a good 2-3 hours. So when this past thing happened and I lost that hour, I lost my mind. It took me forever to recover. It was 1 hour, but it felt like it was 12.
Courtney, I'm telling you, that next day, it felt like we just woke up and it was time to go right back to bed.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just I like when we turn the clocks and it stays lighter longer. Just keep it like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's still light at 7 p.m. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like when
I
it gets dark early.
I love that. And I love that it gets darker later in the morning
Mm-hmm.
versus opening my eyes at 5 o'clock and the sun is beaming in my window. Like, what are you doing? I gotta pee with my eyes closed. I gotta go to the bathroom with my eyes closed. Because one thing about me is once I get up, I can't go right back to sleep. So like I gotta, if I'm not really tired again, then that's it. And when I see lights out, like if I see a light outside, I'm not going back to sleep. So I love to be able to get those extra couple of hours in before the sun comes out.
Now, the original purpose of daylight saving time, Courtney, just so we can all know, was to save energy by extending daylight into the evening. But now research has cast doubts on that whole idea, and the Washington Post has said that it has been associated with adverse effect on health and public safety. So we're not the only ones that are hurting from this. A lot of people are trying to get it changed. They
Mm.
just feel like it's not needed anymore.
It really isn't. Like, especially if you travel. If you do a lot of traveling, the hours shift, you adapt to the time. Like it's not needed. Health, gas. My gas is going up, so I don't understand what you're talking about when you talk about gas. My gas is sky high right now, so they need to fix something. But I don't know. I agree. I want them to leave it one way and just let us rock. Like, why do we have to be tortured to lose the hour and then we gotta? It's just too much.
I don't know what's wrong with me, but I was just thinking, what if we could run cars off of our own personal gas?
You know what? That would be amazing. Because the way gas is right now, I done bought 2 bikes and I ain't ride a bike in about 11 years. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna be on one.
Well, I'm lactose intolerant, so I would just drink a bunch of milk to produce enough gas inside myself, and I would just travel all around town.
Oh, it's crazy. Can you imagine the smell inside your car?
Could you imagine the smell everywhere?
Oh my God. This going down the highways all green and cars, people passing out. This is not good.
But on a serious note, Court, this is no laughing matter. Britney Griner, is she even alive? I mean, I hate to even throw that out there, but I'm talking to some people, just no expert or anything, just regular people who are like, why can't we see her? America just asked, okay, this
Right.
past week, told Russia, look, we want to see her. Let us have access to her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you know, Britney got detained in Russia for
Yep.
having drugs, which was some kind of vape, which, Courtney, I have to be honest with you, big fan of Britney Griner. You probably seen I posted a picture of me and her on my social media.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to be honest with you. After researching and finding out that Britney has played in Russia, you know, overseas, that's what she does. A lot of WNBA players after the WNBA season, they go international and they play for those teams. she's been over there for at least 5 different years.
Yep.
So you know the rules, and you know Russia don't play. I mean, everybody know Russia don't play.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't have tried to do it. So obviously they probably done it before and didn't think they were gonna
Yeah.
get caught. But it's just too risky. And now we don't know where she is. Sad situation.
It is extremely disheartening. But one of the things that I think people in the US, whether you are a celebrity, whether you played in the sports, is that at the end of the day, your skin ain't like theirs. Your hair ain't like theirs. Your mindset ain't like theirs. And I'm not. I know just from what I've been reading is that a lot of what's happening in the media for us isn't happening over there. So half of them don't know that this is a war going on. There are things going on that they are oblivious to. So for me, I'm kind of split. Did she even know what was going on when she was getting ready to leave? Were you even aware that a war is happening between Ukraine and Russia? And let's be really clear that the U.S. has kind of taken away a lot of their incentives and their things that they normally get, out of this on a regular daily basis. And in some way, shape, or form, we are slowly entering into this. And I don't think that she knew this. In my mind, I'm thinking that you didn't have access or something somewhere along the line you missed. You may have slept during the episode of Do You Know What's Going On? Like, I don't know. But I do believe, especially as a Black woman, they don't care. They don't care, right? I got a point to prove. You playing with my money, right? You playing with my imports. You're playing with all these things. You sanction me. Now we're going to show you that we're not playing. You know what I mean? A part of me believes she's alive. I want to believe she's alive. I want to believe that this is all a political ploy to get who back in office. I do believe that. My prayer is that she's alive. My thing is, I don't think that Biden is doing much of anything. I want to see her. No, get your behind up and let's get her out of there. Because had it been a white woman, let's call a spade, she would have been home yesterday. She would have been home yesterday. She would have been on every newspaper known to man. She would have been on the World News Network. And it's just sad to say that we are living in a time where this is still happening, and he can find comfort in going to sleep at night. You know what I mean? Like there would be no rest until she came back. But that's just me.
Well, let me tell you something that I find interesting is that former ESPN employee and writer Liz Grandison, he wrote an article, an opinion piece for the Los Angeles Times. And the headline reads, "Don't Say Gay is a Putin regime creation. Britney Griner is its prisoner." So some people are adding the LGBTQ element to this. Days after Putin's government tried to shut down the LGBTQ network for talking about LGBTQ issues, Britney was arrested. And just to get some people some dates, she was arrested on February 17th on these drug charges. Now, I don't know if it has anything to do with the LGBTQ. I just want to kind of throw that out there for people can check out that article. Do you think it could possibly have anything to do with that and their dislike for that?
I don't think, like you said before, she's been there for years. She's been going there for years. So she didn't just become gay. She's been gay. You know what I'm saying? She's been a part of the LGBTQ community. So that shouldn't be an issue because in reality, she was making you guys money. You know what I mean? I just think that she happens to be a celebrity in her own right, and they are now trying to prove a point, right? Like, because in many years she didn't. I believe you wouldn't have let her get these vapes if you know what I'm saying, that it's just as a consequence. You let her get them because she's been getting them for years and years and years, and because she was a celebrity, you let her ride. This is where that privilege comes in at. But then you realize that the only privilege that we have is white privilege. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? And
well, Courtney, Also, people need to remember you don't have these same freedoms in other places. Okay, especially a woman, especially black.
Yep.
And I don't know if you go to Russia for 5 years and you get so comfortable that you forget that fact, or maybe you don't know any of Russia's history.
Mm.
But I'm in Russia. I'm keeping my hands and feet, nose. I'm keeping everything clean.
Yep.
I don't want to. Did you see what happened to ASAP Rocky? Remember he got put in
He
jail
got,
overseas?
yes.
You don't
Hmm.
want to be put in a jail overseas. It's not going to be like it is here.
Yep.
You may never come out of there.
And you never know, especially, and it's so sad to say it, with the time that we're in right now, you don't know if they're just torturing her and
Oh my
beating her, or if they put a chip in her. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't know, because her life is never going to be the same. You know what I mean? When if she is alive and she comes back, what she's experienced in there, she's never going to be able to come back and be a regular ball player. You know what I mean? Like, that's done. So what happened? You know, you're talking about May. May. She's been in this in February. Like, you know what I mean? All of the things that could possibly be happening to her right now is beyond me, you know?
I just say again, when I met Britney, she was just as sweet as you can imagine. You know, a great basketball player. For the first time, and maybe I'm late, in some articles, I seen people call her a gay icon. I've never heard that before. I don't
Mm,
know if that's something that's just starting now.
yeah.
Whatever. I just hope that some group, somebody can help get her back here.
I hope so. And I hope it is our leader, you know? I that's my thing. And or our VP. Somebody needs to be making some calls or doing something. I don't think that enough is being done.
Well, Courtney, you know what? We have to bring this up because we had the nerve to talk about Nick Canyon, but we're not going to talk about the fact that Maury is finally canceled after all this
Don't do this because I almost cried. Um,
time.
I love Maury. Like, that was my key. If I needed to get a laugh, I watch Maury, because at least you know these people are crazy. You know they're getting paid to go on these shows, so you look for the entertainment. And I can't believe it. It's like when they said Arthur was being taken over TV. I was shocked. Number one, I didn't even know that it was still on. Live. I'm telling you, I didn't even know. I thought it was already canceled. I thought that was our childhood. I ain't knew they carried it over. Um, but Maury, I was when I read that this morning, this afternoon, I was like, no way. Like, what? Out of all the, okay, Jerry, yeah, you can go. The whatever Steve Wilkos, yeah, I didn't know what you were doing, but what you were doing on TV anyway. And Maury just he needed to be there, and I just felt like you just taking away all of our stuff, all the things that we grew up on. You're just taking it all away. Like, what's you know?
We still have paternity court.
It ain't the same. It ain't the same with the
I'm
camera.
addicted to
It's not the
paternity
camera.
court.
It's the cameraman for me. Like, he
That's
needs
you just stole the words out of my mouth.
he needs his own Netflix series. I want to know the background behind what happens when you run after these people. Like, what's the storyline? How do you get hired to be the running cameraman? Like, I need to know backstory because, oh
And let me tell you, I'm a camera woman. I've been a camera woman, and those handheld cameras can get very heavy. So
man,
I have to commend those camera people who were running, trying to
yes,
catch up to the baby mama, baby father, because they ran really good and didn't trip or fall.
yep, yep. And like you're running. I didn't even know the studio that big. And you running into places that I didn't even know they had in the studio. Like, where you find a donut shop? How do you run in this? How is that a donut shop in the
Really,
studio?
I
But
have to be honest though. Sometimes I would watch Maury and I'm like, he sure does make a fool of black people. But I
yeah,
probably can't blame him. But then on the other part, the guilty part, like you do, you watch it, I'm like, oh, this is entertaining.
yeah.
But then sometimes I'm like, nah, this is just a bunch of ignorance.
And you know something, like, I used to think that, right? Like, guys, he just makes a fool of us. But then I'm like, you had to sign up for the show. Muary didn't come looking for you, Felicia. He didn't. She didn't come. He didn't come to your door. You went to the website and you signed up for the show. You knew what you were getting into. So is he making the fool of you, or are you making the fool of you? Like at some point in time, there needs to be an accountability factor, right? Like I think about some of the shows, even Jerry, right? Like at some point in time, ladies and gentlemen, we can't keep saying they're making fools of black people when you sign up. People made a fool out of. You know, you walk into the clown class on your own. You know.
Goodbye, Maury. You don't have to sit on the end of that couch or that in your seat anymore and look surprised.
Like you didn't, right? Like you didn't know. Like you didn't know. Because you're not gonna tell me these people are not characters. These are not. This is not real life. I don't believe it.
I've heard from people who've kind of been around that workspace that they try to get the guests hyped up before they go out. Like, try to get them riled up to make that drama.
Like, there's no way. I'm pretty sure.
Courtney, we forgot. Not only are we gonna miss the camera runs, we're gonna miss those shots they do when they're introducing themselves.
Yes.
I'm Latasha. And my baby daddy, he is the father. Look at these feet. Look at the nose.
Look at my hairline. What are you talking about?
After today, Mar, I want him to stop being a loser. and buy my baby some diapers.
Oh my goodness. I am thankfully his show will still run in syndication. So we'll be able to watch repeats of the show, which is always a great thing. Secondly, they said it was canceled by NBC. I thought it was on Pix 11. I didn't even know that it was under the same umbrella. If it is, I was kind of a little lost. I'm like, wait, that's two different entities, but whatever.
The point is, it's canceled. I tell you what else is almost canceled. Kanye West, or Ye as he's going by. You know, I don't agree with him on everything, Courtney, but telling me now that he's banned from the 2022 Grammy Awards, or he's banned from being able to perform, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. And let me give you the exact word. So a representative for Kanye West confirmed that he was pulled due to concerning online behavior.
You know, this morning I had this conversation, and I'm like you. I feel like Ye has been spiraling for years, and we watched this man spiral, and we've laughed about it. People have made memes about it. Like it's been like a comedy show, and you see this man hurting. Obviously, he's going through something internal. We can't keep saying it's his mom anymore. It's deeper. It's a lot of things he's internalized and he's going through. And the media has a way of spinning things to make it look like what they want it to look like, not what the reality is. You know what I mean? And when I saw today that he was banned from the Grammys, number one, I thought the Grammys was canceled altogether. That was one thing. But to see that, I'm like, this man is iconic. Iconic. Let's for number one, let's start separating artists from what they produce. Because as a person, he may be whatever he's going through up here, but as an artist, he's insanely like amazing. Like the album he just released, I don't even listen to rap, but I was all in. You know what I mean? I'm not a big rap person. Like I'm really selective. Like for me, when I hear rap or hip hop, if it doesn't have meaning, I don't want to hear it. Like Lil Baby, The Baby, No Baby, A Baby. It's 15 babies in there, and y'all ain't saying nothing like babies. So it's like, yeah. So I'm really kind of like, if your words are not impactful, if you're not saying anything, I'm tapped out. Like I don't want to hear about your baby mama and all the people you slept with and your cousin. No, I don't care. I don't care.
You're R&B guy.
Yeah. So I truly think that as a culture, we need to rally with this man because for so many years we've made fun of him, thinking that you know what he's going through is a joke. In reality, it's not. You know what I mean? And that's maybe
Well,
me.
Brittany, fuck all that. I just want to know, do you think it's right that he's being banned? That people have started petitioning saying, don't let him perform at Coachella. Don't let him perform here. What does a
No,
couple of Instagram posts have to do with him performing at the Grammys? Did he hurt somebody? I mean, I've seen people literally try to compare him to OJ Simpson. I just think that's out of bounds. Okay, yeah. Did he have a clay face that looked like Pete, Kim Kardashian's new boyfriend in his Easy video? Yeah, he did. But he's an artist. Artists talk trash, they do things.
yeah.
Now you compare him to OJ Simpson?
Once again, that's a media. We're living in the social media world, right? Like that's just where we are. And unfortunately, as much as I disagree with all that they're trying to, like, I feel like right now they're in a place where they're just trying to tarnish this man, right? Like really kind of bring him down to a size of nothing. And it's like, number one, you will never be able to do that to him. I don't give a damn what the situation is. But I think now that we're living in such a meme, Instagram, Twitter world that people can say 20 things about him, and if it goes viral, then we believe it. You know what I mean? I don't think he should have been canceled. People have done worse,
Mm-hmm.
have done worse, and they're still performing. They're still doing all of these things. You know what I mean? And it's because he's great. I'm so sorry. He's great, and when you get to a certain status, they try to silence you. Like you okay, this is how far you're gonna get. Like you already got here. We don't need to go any higher than that. And with him and Kim and Pete, come on, we talked about privilege before. It's privilege. Like they're the queens and kings of social media. And now you want to come and get in the mix? Oh no, you gotta go, you know?
Now, even though I do understand some of the things Kanye has said recently, I do feel like he made his bed as well. Okay, and some
Mm,
on some levels, on some things maybe I can understand a little bit more, but on a lot of them, I'm like he definitely had his hand in this. I mean, wanting your daughter to be on TikTok, I don't see that as a problem either. She's too young for TikTok. And for all the people who was bashing him because of that, I've seen people say, where was your father? Where was your parents? And I definitely understand it because it's like some people actually like the parents. Some people actually like to monitor what their children are watching. And for all the crazy people that had a problem with that, I wouldn't give a damn either.
right. Like,
Maybe
I'm
his way of
sorry.
going about things is wrong. I don't know. But
I'm sorry. Like, if I don't want my daughter on TikTok or social media, then I don't want my daughter on TikTok or social media. I don't care what you got to say about it. She ain't getting on social media. And that's that. That's that. But because her mother
mhm.
is that's how she got her start, bending over on social media, that's all that they know. You know what I mean? Like, but that's not I feel like he's trying to raise his, and it may come off crazy, but I feel like he wants to raise his kids in a normal world, right? Like even
Mhm.
though they might never be normal, I want to let them know that this is not okay. I know growing up, I didn't have a phone, but then again, we didn't have social media. But I, my grandmother, I swear right now, if I was that age, my grandmother would a Facebook, Instagram. I
Right.
wouldn't know what that was, you know.
So Kim and Kanye were married for 6 years. We know that. And we also know that Trevor Noah, the host of The Daily Show and comedian, that also was a factor into why he was barred from the Grammys. Although now Trevor Noah has come out and tried to say he didn't want that to happen or something to that effect. But the damage is done. There are more petitions out there that are people are trying to get together. I want to see what Kanye's gonna say about these petitions because I haven't seen a message from him yet about it. So
So remember, he was banned from Instagram. I want to say last week,
mm,
which is ironic because we had a clown in office for 4 years, And said clown posted every day. And it wasn't until the insurrection where they banned his social media. Up until the insurrection, did they ban this man's social media? The president of the work of the United States. Meanwhile, Kanye is ranting because right now let's be clear, he wants his wife back because he wants his family. In his mind, that's the most important thing, right? Family. He doesn't want to take no for an answer. Yes, it's creepy because he's in love. He loves Kim.
But it's really creepy because I feel like people are judging a little hard. I've seen memes about people breaking up, and I've heard stories. We've seen it on reality shows like Love and Hip Hop. We see how some of these people act when it's a breakup. Now, 6 years of marriage, your feelings all in that. And not only 6 years of marriage, you have children. Did he really do anything that a man who wants his wife back would it do?
This is what I'm saying.
I mean, I'm just like people acting like they just
like it's
perfect.
weird. It's not weird. Like he loves her. What he wants his family together.
Let's
For
not
her,
like people don't investigate if you still like your ex and you've been together for a long time. Don't act like you ain't never checked out their page and seen try to figure out what they were doing if you still like them.
come on, in they DMs. Come on,
right? It ain't stalking until you start getting crazy with it. But I don't think it was to that point with him. People just over exaggerating.
He's done nothing, and I think like in reality, in retrospect, like she's wrong because you let this new guy come in, and he's basically disrespecting the father of your kids. I don't care how you feel about him, but you never let a man think he has that much power to disrespect the father of your children. He helped you birth those kids. You know, you didn't do that by yourself. He was invested in all the nuttery. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like
Kanye said brought up the fact too that Pete Davidson, I think when he was dating Adriana Grande, he was the reason that she kind of I think that her relationship with Mac Miller, rest in peace, was messed up because he tried to break them up or something like that, and they recently pointed to that, and then he said something about him like stay out of your family, trying to insinuate that he had slept with one of his family members or something like that. But so we don't know that he's the perfect guy. I guess Kanye's trying to say he don't know his intentions and he don't want to
mention something about
crazy stuff.
Yeah, because Pete mentioned something about like I don't know if he was joking, but somewhere about like sleeping with kids. And Kanye basically Kanye basically saying, and this is the man who's around my children. I don't feel
I think he was telling his comedy and he used it as a joke, but
as a joke.
But the audience didn't like it.
Right. And a lot of people didn't like that joke, including Kanye, who has kids that you see now every day. You know what I mean? And like the last straw was when he took the picture of him laying in the bed and saying he was laying with his wife. You know what I mean? Like now you're throwing jabs.
Now I didn't like that part. I think if I was Kim, that I would have said, you know what, you didn't really have to. I mean, because let's be honest, they're not divorced. She just happened to have legally been allowed to claim herself as single.
Right.
But technically, I mean, I'm not sure how the law works in this manner, but I'm pretty sure that I know they're not divorced. So it just comes down to morally what you feel comfortable with doing, I guess.
Yeah. I'm just, I'm praying for Kanye. I didn't see the documentary. A lot of people saw it and all of a sudden had like coming to Jesus moments about him. I still feel like internally he needs help, and people are spending so much time, making him a mockery that no one is really saying, you know what, Kanye, come sit down. Like, let's do this because you need the real help. You know what I mean? And then and this is what makes me mad because something will happen to him, God forbid, but something will happen. And then all of a sudden, we want to replay every Kanye song that ever played and call him the greatest man in the world. But do that now. You know what I mean? Take care of him now while he's here not when he completely jumps off the edge, you know?
Well, speaking of taking care of people, 50 Cent wants to help Monique out and take care of her a little bit. And I knew he wanted her on Power because I'm like, okay, so you want me to think that 50 Cent just out the blue wants to make a statement saying, hey, guys, please start, letting Monique work again or, work even more, pick her for your movies. It's okay, 50. She can be on Power, but we'll appreciate, you taking that time to go through the media and make some noise about it.
Yeah. I saw the first time he posted after going to her comedy show. When I feel like he probably spoke to her because we all know about the situation with her and Tyler Perry and Oprah. And I think in her last interview, she mentioned Tyler Perry not keeping his word, whatever that word was. And then this came out. So I wasn't shocked that it happened so close together. And if you want to give her a job, give her a job. Like, okay, like a lot of people on Power were people who weren't getting jobs anyway. So you gave them a platform to get a job. Outside of Mary and Method, a lot of the actors weren't really getting a lot of this, a lot of work. So I think she needs it. I think for her right now as an actress, it would be great for her to be on that platform. But I don't really care.
You don't?
I'm not like, I don't see her as someone who is struggling, right? Like she's not out here on crack or whatever the case may be. Yes, I do believe she was blackballed by society, but I also believe, um, other people, other black, there's more to people here than Tyler Perry and Oprah. I'm so sorry. You know what I mean? And there are so many other companies that could have given her that opportunity and didn't. You know what I'm saying? So you blackballed her for what? Because you don't really know the story. You only know what you heard on media. But they could have been giving her an opportunity to come back. I know she did that movie. Was it Chris? It's a Christmas movie which she was in. I think that was the last one I remember her being in, and then she's been kind of like doing things here and there. But I don't know. I'm not hurt. Like I feel like you getting money. The Parkers play every day, so you get paid.
But you know what? As an artist, you want to continue doing what you love to do, and if you feel like you're being kept from doing it and it's not fair, then that bothers you, even if you are financially okay. I don't
Yeah.
know if she is. I don't know if she isn't. Look like she is okay. If she's not,
Mm-hmm.
she does it so gracefully, I would have never known.
Yeah.
The whole thing is, I think she would do excellent on Power. I just hope that he gives her a role that's not gonna be just a one-time thing, and I hope
Mm-hmm.
it's a role that we can see develop because I think she'll knock it out the park. I think she
Yeah.
has a powerful personality, and the way she acts is very powerful. And so I think that, well, not Power, well, it is Power, but Power Ghost or whichever one she's gonna be on, I
Yeah.
think that she would do well. But I just want to see how the character is gonna be developed.
And we know that it's happening. You know what I mean? We just now need to figure out which show. I don't think she should be on the Ghost one, Power Book 2. I feel like every celebrity in the world is on that show. Like, let it go. Let her do Kanan because that show needs somebody powerful in there. And I don't think the cast who is in there now is doing it. So maybe that one. You know what I mean? Or this one with Tommy Force can be on that one. But Power Book 2, if I see another celebrity join the cast, I'm a cry.
I
I'm a
love That's one of my favorite shows.
I think for us, it's our favorite because it was a continuation after Ghost died, right? So a lot of the characters we already knew. We already knew the storyline. It changed and it evolved, but it did it for the better. And we got to know the newer characters and kind of fall in love with them because the older characters made them feel welcome, right? So it was like I never felt like Power was gone watching Power Book 2. I felt like we were just continuing on to what we already were watching. I feel like the other two shows are completely different because we don't know these people. Like we don't really know them. The stories we're trying to adapt to, and it's like, so is Ghost going to come out in any of these shows? Like, you know what I mean? But I think having her go on there and be a part of just the Power universe in general will be great. She needs, like you said, she needs it. She deserves it, and we'll see. You know what I mean? We'll see.
Don't be on the horse because I don't watch that one. That first
Let's.
episode did not get me.
I think you need to give it another shot. I, and I'm not being biased because I've interviewed the cast. I just love the show. I love the show. I was like you in the beginning, the first episode. I was like, yeah, so they're gonna cancel this tomorrow, but it's really good once you get in it. Like Tommy's doing a great job.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a try.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what, Courtney? I want to thank you so much for joining me today. We had a lot of fun talking about this stuff. Things are still crazy. They always crazy. Well, they're not always crazy, but I'm glad we had some good topics to talk about for this week.
Yeah, I love coming on here and chatting up and having these conversations. They make me laugh, especially having having a long week to come and just kind of mellow out and not feel so scripted in my head. It was great. So thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much.
Yes, yes, yes. Please make sure you guys tune in to One on One with Courtney Starks. We air shows live every single week. You can catch it live on IG and streaming on Roku, Amazon Fire, and YouTube.
Yes, guys, do that. And I'm going to see you next time. And Courtney will join me here again very soon.